Hey everybody, welcome to my video podcast. It's Wootini from GayGamer.net, and as you can tell, I have a very special guest on the couch this week. It's ROCsteady.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Also from GayGamer.net. I want to apologize first off for my haircut. My regular barber was busy, so I went to the other person, and she went way too short. Not as short as that, thank goodness, but not as long as I would like it to be. We're going to start with what we're playing right now, because I've started Fruit Ninja Connect for a review, which you can read on GayGamer.net. And that is if my arms don't fall off before then. And I'm so sore right now, and I've only been playing it for 2 days. I'm going to have arms of steel, or I won't have any arms at all. One or the other. And I've also been continuing to play Infamous, which I'm really enjoying. I don't know why, I just am. It's just fun. I like the mission-based gameplay. You can play it for a little bit at a time, and it's fun being a superhero, even if, you know, it's kind of a crappy world to try to save.
Very depressing. People in that world are very sad that their city is in ruins.
But I know that you started Infamous 2.
Yes.
And how does that compare?
I finished Infamous 1 like last week, and I really enjoyed that game because of the mission-based gameplay and because there always seemed to be something to do. It does improve on a lot of things, the issues that I had with Infamous 1. A lot of the climbing mechanics in Infamous 1 was a little sticky, so I would find myself getting stuck in corners and whatnot. The shooting mechanic was a little ambiguous too, I felt, so it was harder to get headshots.
Yes.
They've fixed that in Infamous 2. The targeting system's a lot easier to use, climbing's a lot easier and more fun, and just even when we were talking about the world being so dark, the game is set in a more brightly colored world. It's in the south, in this southern town called New Marais. The sunlight is out more, the people are more jazzy and a little bit more colorful. And, you know, just playing the game itself, there is an upgrade in graphics. It reminds me a lot of Uncharted 2, which is no surprising since Sucker Punch is part of Sony's trifecta of Insomniac Games and Naughty Dog. Also, in the first game, a lot of the voice acting was done with the in-game engine. Mm-hmm. In Infamous 2, there are actual cutscenes, aside from the comic book cutscenes, where it's actually acted out with excellent voice acting.
Well, that's good, because that's the thing, is like, when I'm playing it, I'm like, the gameplay itself is really fun, so I do like playing it, but then, you know, you have the scenes where there's dialogue and story points, and it really does feel, it's very clearly a first-generation game, you know, so, like Infamous 2, I would hope for an improved graphics, improved targeting, and yes, definitely the parkour stuff needs to be a little bit smoother. I mean, how does it compare with Assassin's Creed 2? Because that, to me, is like, that was like butter.
I don't think you can compare anything to Assassin's Creed 2 when it comes to stealth or climbing games. Infamous 2 still has a long way to go when it comes to parkour or stealth, but it's still, I would probably say Infamous is probably more of the kind of game where you just want to like run and gun and blast and blow things up.
Right. It's not about stealth.
Right.
But just climbing and jumping from building to building, I think, could be a little smoother.
Yeah, yes.
And then the other game that you said you wanted to talk about is Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Yes.
Which regular viewers may know, I bought when it came out and immediately realized just how bad I am at fighting games. And all of my friends were like, no, I'm terrible. I'll play you online. They would kick my ass so hard, it was like it's like the controller wasn't even connected. I'm mashing buttons and nothing is happening because they're just kicking my ass. So, as much as you say you suck at fighting games, I suck more. So, I personally was not bothered by the announcement of this. It's the Ultimate Edition?
Yes.
They're calling it?
Yes.
I wasn't personally bothered by the Ultimate Edition because I'm not going to get it anyway. But I understand the concept of how people could be upset by this. And now, you say you love Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Absolutely love it. In fact, I just recently got 2 of the gold trophies that are really difficult to get. I got Waiting for the Trade, which is what you get when you complete the arcade mode with every single character, and I just got the Comic Collector, which is what happens when you complete the gallery and get all of their artwork, and it just bumped me up to level 10 on the PSN, which for me is a huge achievement since I don't always have time to play all of the games that are out. Yeah, so I'm super excited about that, and I just like Marvel vs. Capcom 3 in general because of the frenetic gameplay, the buttery combo system, the fact that you get to play as Dark Phoenix. I mean, who would not love to play as Dark Phoenix?
But see, if you're Dark Phoenix, you should just be able to push one button, and then your opponent disintegrates, and then you win. Because that's what Dark Phoenix does.
She does. She's the world destroyer. She's the world destroyer.
All she has to do is look at you, and But of course that wouldn't be a very fun game, because everyone would pick Dark Phoenix and the games would all last about a second apiece. So how do you feel, as a big fan of Marvel vs. Capcom 3, who bought it probably when it first came out?
Yeah.
How do you feel about this Ultimate Edition? Are you going to get it?
I'm kind of mixed about it. I mean, you look at what Capcom has been doing this since the early 90s, since Street Fighter 2. I remember
how many versions of that game are there?
Like 12. There's something like 11 or 12. And I remember it was the first fighting game that I really got into, and I remember getting Street Fighter 2 Turbo, being like, alright, this is the definitive edition. And then Super Street Fighter came out. And incidentally, that's actually my favorite version out of any Street Fighter game. But Capcom continued to do this last year with Super Street Fighter, which came out with new characters, and just more recently with Super Street Fighter Arcade Edition. I think in total, since I purchased Street Fighter 4, I've spent $165 on that game. Because I own every iteration. So if that helps to answer some of your questions about whether or not I'm going to purchase the next one, I don't know. But I will say this about Capcom. A lot of people are angry that Capcom is not developing good customer relations because of this. It feels like a cash-in. But which could be true, if you look at other companies, like the Mortal Kombat series, I'm not a Mortal Kombat person, but if you look at back in the day with Midway with the Mortal Kombat 2 cabinets, they were constantly releasing updates and revising the game and adding new moves at no extra charge to the people playing the cabinet. And NetherRealms is continuing to do the tradition by offering constant rebalancing updates for no extra charge for the people who already purchased the game. They are expecting us to purchase the DLC like Scarlet or the upcoming Freddy Krueger, which I have personally no problem paying $4.99 for to play as Freddy Krueger. But I don't have problem paying for snippets of DLC like that. It's when I think a lot of people have a problem with buying a game thinking it's a definitive edition and then feeling like all this stuff, which is an afterthought, is going to cost me almost the full price of the game. So.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not going to buy it, but it's like, when it was announced and everyone was up in arms about it, like, I tweeted, I was like, I don't know why people buy Capcom fighting games when they first come out anyway, because that 6 months down the road, there's going to be an Ultra EX something version of it that has more characters and is slightly better, and on the one hand, yeah, you can be upset about it because now it's like you're going to have to go buy it again. Sort of like, George Lucas, here's another Star Wars, again. Buy it again. Give me more money. But with Capcom, it's like, you can get bent out of shape about it, but like you say, I mean, they've done this like a bajillion times. So you kind of expect it from them.
Honestly, I didn't expect it from the Marvel vs. Capcom series, and maybe that's me being delusional about this, but I was surprised when I heard that it was going to come out. But I was also surprised when characters like Strider weren't included with this new game, because he was one of my favorite characters from the second game. But people are complaining that Capcom doesn't know how to develop good customer relationships with people, but honestly, and they're saying that, people are saying that the fighting genre is such a niche genre that it's going to push people away, when I think this is completely the opposite. Because Capcom's smart. If you have comic book nerds or comic book geeks who are fans of Ghost Rider, and they hear that Ghost Rider's coming out in this new fighting game, if I was a Ghost Rider fan, even if I hated fighting games, I would go out and buy this updated version just to be badass with Ghost Rider. So,
yeah. Or on the other side, on the Capcom side of things, Phoenix Wright.
Exactly. Yeah, that's kind of like a disconnect. Something I was not expecting.
Well, everyone was expecting Phoenix Wright to be in it, but then he wasn't. So then everybody's like, okay, so there will be like a Phoenix Wright DLC pack, right?
Right.
And now they're like, no, he'll be in the Ultimate Edition. And it's like, Oh. He is, right? I'm not making that up.
Yeah,
that
no,
wasn't
he
something
is.
I imagined, right?
He
Okay,
totally
I'm like,
is.
in my head, he is. And then I'm like, then I couldn't remember if that's for real or if I just dreamt it or something. I'm still not buying it, even though I love Phoenix Wright.
I'm buying it.
I'll borrow
I'm
it.
totally making love to Frank West.
Yes. Well, yeah. Anyway, you know they're doing Dead Rising 2 with Frank West, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. You gonna get that?
Super stoked.
Yeah.
Super stoked.
Alright, well, we'll wrap it up so it doesn't go too long, but thank you very much to ROCsteady for coming and being my guest this week.
Thanks for
and
having
helping me out, because I didn't really have anything else to talk about this week, so I appreciated it a great deal. So, I will see you again next week. Bye!
Bye, guys, girls.